Welcome to this explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here today because we're going to completely shatter some preconceptions. Think about it for a second. When you hear the word waltz, what instantly pops into your head? Probably grand ballrooms, right? You picture those elegant flowing gowns, impeccable manners, maybe a gentle, romantic sway across a super polished floor. It looks effortless, like something straight out of a fairy tale. Well, today we're pulling back the velvet curtain. We're looking at the physical reality hidden right beneath that polished surface. We're diving into the surprising fitness reality of the waltz. And trust me, by the end of this, you're going to look at those graceful dancers in a completely different light.
So we have to start with the biggest question of all. Is the waltz actually a real workout? I mean, I know a lot of us think of ballroom dancing, especially the slower, smoother styles, like the waltz, as just, well, walking to slow music with incredibly stiff posture, right? You don't see the dancers panting, you don't see them drenched in sweat, so it's incredibly easy to assume they just aren't working that hard. But as we're about to see, that seemingly effortless glide, it's literally one of the greatest illusions in the physical world. It takes an immense amount of strength and stamina to make something look that perfectly smooth.
Okay, let's dive into this. When we watch a waltz, we're completely captivated by the aesthetic. We see those flowing gowns and these smooth floating movements. Honestly, it looks like they're just hovering an inch above the ground. But the fitness reality hidden underneath is a whole different ballgame. The waltz actually classifies as moderate to vigorous activity. It requires intense, ongoing muscular engagement. You aren't just stepping casually, you are actively driving your weight into the floor, pushing off, controlling your descent, all while keeping a completely rigid upper body. Your lower body is basically doing the equivalent of sustained squats and lunges. The contrast between what it looks like and what it actually feels like is just staggering. Now, if you're someone who loves tracking fitness metrics, this hard data is going to surprise you. An hour of waltzing can burn roughly 200 to 400 calories for the average adult. That is no small potatoes. Now, a person on the lower end of the body weight spectrum might burn closer to that 200 mark. But someone with a higher body weight who's really putting sustained, energetic drive into their movement, they can easily push that total right up toward 400 calories. To put that into perspective, that puts a solid hour of waltzing right on par with a brisk walk, a light jog, or even a moderate cycling session. No joke.
Actually, if you wear a fitness tracker, you might notice something pretty fascinating when you step onto the dance floor. Trackers often categorize this type of dance as cardio-adjacent. So what does that mean? It means you're engaging in continuous movement, but combined with constant changes in direction and pace. Think about it. You are never just moving in a straight, predictable line. You're rotating, reversing, accelerating into a turn, and then powerfully decelerating just to keep your balance. When you keep your technique active and your tempo consistent, your cardiovascular system is literally working overtime to supply oxygen to all those stabilizing muscles, and that pushes you firmly into that moderate to vigorous activity zone.
Let's see how this plays out in the real world, because this is where the human element really shines. I like to call this the tale of two dancers. Picture this. Two people taking the exact same hour-long waltz class. Dancer A takes frequent recovery breaks, hangs out near the water cooler, and uses a very casual, relaxed pacing. Dancer B, on the other hand, stays in continuous movement, matches a faster tempo, and utilizes deep, active technique, like really pushing off the floor. Even though they both technically waltzed for an hour, Dancer B is going to burn a dramatically higher number of calories. The label of the activity is exactly the same, but the execution, that changes the whole shebang. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why that variance happens. The actual burn really comes down to four main variables. First up, body weight. Naturally, a heavier body expends a bit more energy to perform the exact same movement. Second, dance intensity. A faster musical tempo and more vigorous footwork are going to heavily increase the burn. Third is movement continuity. An uninterrupted hour is a totally different beast from a stop-and-start practice session. And finally, the environment. Are you at a relaxed social dance, or are you sweating it out in an intense choreography rehearsal? Every single one of these variables shifts your heart rate and dictates exactly how much of a real workout you're actually getting.
So, the absolutely crucial point here is understanding the physical mechanics of why this works your body so well. You kind of have to think of the waltz as this unique blend of cardiovascular work and lower body strength conditioning. The steady rhythm keeps your heart rate consistently elevated, sure, but the real secret sauce? That lies in the lower body coordination and weight-bearing balance conditioning. Every single time you rise up onto your toes and then slowly, smoothly lower yourself back down, you are deeply engaging your calves, your quads, and your glutes. And because it's weight-bearing, it's fantastic for your bone health and your balance, making it way more physically demanding than a lot of typical low-impact exercises.
Now, if you're watching this and thinking, okay, how do I turn my casual dancing into a maximized workout? Don't worry, I've got you covered. Here are 4 highly actionable steps derived straight from the data. Step 1, increase your time in motion. Try to cut down those breaks and aim for longer, continuous segments. Step 2, maintain good upright posture. This is huge, guys. Holding that tall, rigid frame requires your core and back muscles to fire constantly. Step 3, pick a consistent tempo to keep your overall energy expenditure high. And Step 4, blend your sessions. Try alternating between fun, relaxed social dancing and highly focused, intense practice blocks. That's going to keep your heart guessing and your intensity way up.
Now, wait just a second. Before you run out and waltz for 3 hours straight, we need to pause for a quick but crucial reality check. As with literally any physical activity that you're scaling up into a full-blown workout, you absolutely must prioritize safe progression. Because the waltz requires so much rise and fall and all that rotational movement, it puts a highly specific demand on your lower body joints. If you go out and overdo the intensity right out of the gate, you significantly increase the risk of strain, particularly in your ankles, your knees, and your hips. So please, always take the time to properly warm up those joints before you dive into a long or intensive session.
You know, when we talk about burning 200 to 400 calories, it's so incredibly easy to become obsessed with your fitness watch, right? We've all been there just trying to hit a new high score every single session. But honestly, the most important thing you can do is focus on repeatable patterns rather than chasing a single number. That is how sustainable fitness actually works, and it's for sure how you become a better dancer. The real magic happens when you focus on consistency. Aim for similar session lengths, similar intensity, and a consistently strong effort week after week. That repeatability is exactly what builds true stamina and transforms the dance into a reliable pillar of your fitness routine. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. We've uncovered the hidden mechanics, we've looked at the real-world calorie data, and we've mapped out exactly how to maximize the physical benefits of this beautiful dance. So, I'm going to leave you with this question. Are you ready to trade the monotony of the treadmill for the challenge and elegance of the ballroom floor? It's literally a workout for your heart, your muscles, and your mind, all cleverly disguised in a tuxedo and a gown. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep moving, keep exploring, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.